Hey gang, buckle up because we're about to dissect the Chinese Grand Prix. And let's just say it was wilder than a Shanghai street market at rush hour. Max Verstappen casually strode away with the win. Big surprise there, but behind him it was pure pandemonium. We've got Daniel Ricciardo's fiery clash with Lance Stroll, surprise podiums, and enough drama to fuel a whole season of reality TV. Let's dive into this mess, shall we? Alright, let's start with the main event. The dumpster fire that was the Ricciardo-Stroll saga. This has more twists and turns than the Shanghai circuit itself. Sure, at first glance, it seemed like your typical safety car snafu. Stroll plowed into the back of Ricciardo, ruining both their races. But this wasn't your average fender bender. This was a full-blown meltdown. Apparently, Stroll wasn't satisfied with just wrecking Ricciardo's race. He had to twist the knife a bit deeper by calling him an idiot over the radio. Seriously, dude, did you think Ricciardo was the one who heard that? Talk about adding insult to injury. Ricciardo was understandably fuming. Imagine getting rear-ended in traffic and then the other driver leans out the window and yells, "Learn how to drive, moron." Yeah, you'd probably want to throw hands too. And Aston Martin backing Stroll up. That's like throwing a lead match onto a gasoline spill. They basically ensured that Ricciardo would stay furious long after his car was towed back to the garage. Let's be honest, Stroll's move was the kind of brain fart we expected from F1 rookies, not a seasoned driver. The whole concertina effect under a safety car is tricky, but isn't that like the entire point of being an F1 driver? Paying attention to what's happening on the track. Everyone else managed it, but Stroll seemed more interested in planning his post-race dim sum order than, avoiding a massive crash. The stewards weren't impressed either. Stroll got slapped with a 10-second penalty, which is basically F1's way of saying, "Go sit in the corner and think about what you've done." Hopefully, this was a wake-up call for Stroll because driving like that is a recipe for a full-blown disaster. But let's remember, even the greatest drivers have made rookie errors. With the right mentorship and focus, Stroll has the potential to learn from this and become a smarter, stronger driver. He's got the talent. Now, it's about harnessing it the right way. The pressure's definitely on for Stroll. And maybe that's what the sprint race highlighted, the need to take those calculated risks. Did that extra competition push drivers over the edge on Sunday, leading to those crazy overtakes and surprises? Maybe that's what fueled the fire between Stroll and Ricciardo. But even amidst the chaos, Max Verstappen was doing his usual thing, casually strolling away with another victory like it was no big deal. 4 wins already this season, dude's on another level. Speaking of unpredictable, did you catch the crazy weather in Shanghai this weekend? Remember that drizzle right before the start? Turns out those slippery conditions and a track that changed grip levels corner to corner made for some chaotic tire strategies. Some teams gambled with early pit stops under the safety car. Others opted to stay out longer. While we're still trying to figure out McLaren's mystery performance, we wouldn't be surprised if those tricky track conditions played a part in how they suddenly found their pace. Did these conditions favor certain teams? Absolutely, it definitely played a role in some of those unexpected results we saw. But the real shocker was Lando Norris in that McLaren somehow splitting the Red Bulls and grabbing second place. I mean, did someone sprinkle magic dust on that car overnight? Because that performance came out of nowhere. The drama wasn't just at the front. The Chinese Grand Prix saw some seriously intense battles further down the grid. Fernando Alonso put on a vintage performance, fighting tooth and nail to secure those precious points for Aston Martin. It seems like that team is on an upward swing. Could it be a sign of things to come? And let's not forget the thrilling fight between the Alpine and Alfa Romeo cars. Those guys were swapping positions like it was a hot potato, keeping us on the edge of our seats. Talk about showcasing the depth and excitement this sport has even beyond the podium stars. Speaking of excitement, let's talk about that crazy finish. By lap 32, Verstappen was comfortably in the lead, scoring his fourth win of the season. Norris pulled off an incredible second-place finish for McLaren, and Perez managed to reclaim third. But the real shocker, Ferrari trailing behind with Leclerc in fourth and Sainz in fifth. This race definitely shook up the championship standings. Verstappen's dominance is clear. Norris is making moves and it's getting seriously tense in the midfield. So what's the takeaway from this wild race? First, even when the safety car comes out, you gotta stay focused. Stroll's brain freeze is proof that zoning out for even a second can lead to disaster. Second, sometimes messing with your setup is like playing with fire. Sure, it might get you a spectacular win, but like Ferrari and Mercedes learned, it can just easily blow up in your face. And finally, the biggest lesson of all, F1 is completely bonkers. Verstappen's predictable win aside, we have McLaren pulling a podium out of thin air and Ferrari looking as lost as a tourist in a Shanghai market. Just when you think you've seen it all, this sport throws you a curveball. And that, my friends, is why we keep coming back for more. But let's not forget the biggest drama of the day, the Ricciardo-Stroll clash. This isn't just about a ruined race. Ricciardo's likely feeling the sting of lost championship points, and a double DNF for Red Bull puts extra pressure on him to perform. Honestly, we wouldn't be surprised if this leaves some serious tension between him and Aston Martin. Could this be a breaking point? Only time will tell, but this saga might not be over just yet. Now, it's time to hear from you. Did you lose your mind over the Ricciardo-Stroll drama and Verstappen's dominant performance? Let us know in the comments, and if you love this breakdown, smash that like button, share this video to get the discussion going, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all the F1 action. We'll see you next time.